All right, today we're going to break down the business strategy of a creator who is pulling in six figures in what has to be one of the most crowded digital markets out there. And we're going to see how she did it, not by just playing the game, but by completely rewriting the rules. So, this is the big question, right? It's not just about making some content, it's about building a real, sustainable business. We are going to break down exactly how one creator pulled it off, step by step, using a strategy that just completely flipped the usual industry model on its head.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll meet the entrepreneur herself. Then we'll deconstruct her amazing value proposition. After that, we'll dig into her branding, map out her whole digital empire, and then wrap it all up with a final verdict on the entire business model.
So first up, let's meet the founder and, the face of the digital brand we're looking at today, which is known at the start of us.
This is Adhara Skai. And here's the really crucial thing to get right from the start. She's not just a performer, she is a founder. She approached her entire career from day one with the mindset of a startup entrepreneur, and that little detail is absolutely key to understanding her success. And this timeline, it just lays it all out so perfectly. She launched her brand when she was just 20 years old, and 5 years later, she's built this seriously impressive business with a massive digital footprint. This isn't some overnight success story. It's the result of a very deliberate 5-year-long strategy.
Okay, now let's get into the real meat of her strategy. This is where things get really interesting, because this is the business model that directly challenges how things are usually done and helps her build incredible customer loyalty.
So you know the standard model, right? It's almost designed to be frustrating. You pay your subscription fee, and then, bam, you have to pay again for the best stuff. Adhara's model is the complete opposite. It's all built on transparency and giving you amazing value right from the get-go. And her price? It's just so simple. $20 a month, flat. No confusing tiers, no hidden fees to worry about. It's a really straightforward deal that builds trust from the very first click. But here is the real kicker. When you take that $20 and spread it across her library, which has over 250 full-length videos, the cost for each video comes out to about 16 cents. 16. This is her killer value proposition. The value for the customer just feels immense, which makes that subscription feel like an absolute steal.
And believe me, this isn't some happy accident. It is her actual business philosophy. This quote, minimal PVV, maximum pleasure, it just sums up her entire approach perfectly. By cutting way back on those extra pay-per-view charges, she gets rid of any financial surprises and just focuses on giving a high-value, satisfying experience. It's kind of genius marketing because it's also just really good business. So a great price is one thing, but that alone doesn't work if you don't have a powerful brand to back it up. In this next section, we're going to explore the how, that authentic brand identity she carefully built to make her business model actually work. See, she doesn't just sell content. She sells an entire experience that she calls her soft, naughty world. This is her brand promise. It clearly defines the emotional vibe for her followers, and it really sets her apart from competitors by focusing on positivity, safety, and a real sense of connection. Her whole brand is built on what the source material calls the authenticity factor. And while, details about her body might seem personal, they are a core part of her business strategy. By presenting a natural, quote, attainable image and committing to honest, no-tricks marketing, she's built a brand that feels refreshingly real and trustworthy in a market that's, often filled with the opposite. Okay, next up, let's look at how she actually gets this brand out there and finds her customers. A modern digital business needs to be everywhere, and Adhara has built a really well-structured digital empire. This table gives us a fantastic overview. I mean, just look at how each platform has a totally distinct job. OnlyFans is the main moneymaker. Twitter is for marketing and engagement engine. Reddit is where she builds community. And Instagram gives you a little window into her lifestyle. It's a classic hub-and-spoke model, and she's just executing it perfectly. And this chart really drives home a key point. More than half of her entire audience is on Twitter, or X. This tells us it's her main tool for getting people in the door. It's where she builds awareness and sends traffic over to her paid platforms. She knows exactly where her audience hangs out and how to talk to them. So how does all this social media buzz turn into actual money? Well, let's do some quick back-of-the-napkin math. Based on her 230,000 likes on her main platform and using a pretty standard industry conversion rate of about 3 to 5%, we can estimate her annual income from that one source alone is well into the six figures. This just shows you how those platform numbers become real-world income. All right, so we've seen the strategy, we've seen the results. Now it's time for the final verdict. Let's take a look at an objective scorecard that really breaks down the pros and cons of this whole business model. The scores here are incredibly high, an 8.7 out of 10 overall. But look at the top categories. Value for money gets a massive 9.5, and authenticity gets a 9.0. This just confirms that her core strategies, that unbeatable value and that genuine brand, are without a doubt her greatest strengths.
So, to just quickly sum up her strengths, it's that unbeatable value proposition we keep talking about, a super consistent brand voice, a real focus on body positivity that connects with her audience, and clear, honest marketing that builds trust for the long haul.
But of course, no business is perfect. The analysis points out some opportunities for even deeper engagement. Things like Q&As or polls, and a need to keep innovating on content to keep things fresh. Plus, there's a lot of untapped potential on platforms like Instagram. And beyond just her own business, she faces the same huge challenges as everyone in this industry. Platform rules can change in a heartbeat, the demand for nonstop content is a recipe for burnout, and there are always the big concerns around privacy and whether this is a sustainable career long-term.
So, when you boil it all down, Adhara Skai is a perfect example of the modern creator. She's a hybrid professional. She has to be a performer, a community manager, a brand strategist, and a CEO all at the same time.
And all of that leaves us with one final big question to think about. As the digital world gets more and more crowded, is this unique blend of radical value, true authenticity, and smart multi-platform strategy, is this the blueprint for the next generation of successful digital entrepreneurs? It's definitely a powerful model to consider.